Good afternoon, Valerie Milano, the senior editor of the Hollywood Times. I'm so glad to have our guest here. I'm in Palm Springs right now, but I'm going to let him introduce himself. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Valerie, how are you?
Thank you. I'm real well. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Sure, thank you. I'm glad to be with you. It's always a pleasure.
I appreciate it. So, if you tell us your name, where you're at, and we'll go ahead and go with the interview.
All right, so my name is Ofir Raul Graizer. I'm a film director, writer, director. I'm currently in LA. I'm based in Germany. I just arrived last night after a very, very long flight to Los Angeles.
Long flight, so I bet you have a little jet
So
lag, right?
I am jet lagged. I am very, but I'm happy to be here because I'm here to open my film, and it's not something you get to do every day. So this is kind of going to compensate for the lack of sleep.
Yes. Good. Well, I'm glad you get to do that with us at the Hollywood Times. So, yay. Thank you for being with us. So, talk about the central themes in your film, America, and how do they compare to those in Graizer's previous film, The Cakemaker?
Um, I think that, like, these are two very, very different films for me. The Cakemaker, it's a film about love, and I think America is more a film about companionship or deep kind of friendship. Um, I think that for me, I'm very interested in the connection between people, the way people connect when they face things that are unexpected in their lives, when some kind of events happen that uh, forces a person to change their perspective or their idea of reality, and how it affects their moral values, their let's say the way they see themselves in the world, the way they label themselves or don't want to label themselves. It's affected by unexpected events. So I think this is the thing that maybe connects those two films. Um, but I think like another thing I would say is that uh, center on a certain kind of craft, something you do with your hands, something you do with your body. The cake maker is about food, which is, I think, much easier theme in a way. Baking, cooking, with all the meanings that are connected to it, of course. And America is dealing with plants, with flowers and plants and earth, and these are both ancient crafts that contain so much meaning, so much heritage, so much connection to a religious identity, a political identity, history. So I would say this is something that is apparent in both films, even though I think they're very different films.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like Ophir, can you also tell us how does the film explore the intersection of personal identity and cultural heritage?
You mean America? In
Yeah,
America?
in America, right.
Mm, it's a tricky question. I think that I mean it is open to interpretation, of course, from whoever. For me, the way I see it, what is actually brings together all the characters in America, that they kind of ref um, don't have really connection to their heritage. I mean, they're kind of disconnected from them home, from their roots. Iris, who comes from a religious family, religious traditional Ethiopian family from the south of Israel, she's not connected to them. She got disconnected because she chose a different kind of life, and she built a new life in a way that is disconnected from her childhood and who she was, maybe who she was meant to be or supposed to be. And Ellie is coming from a very different home from a very, let's say, Ashkenazi, North European family in Tel Aviv, coming from a very patriarchal father. But he got entirely disconnected from it. He built a whole new life. He changed his name, he changed his identity. He moved to Chicago. So he just got entirely disconnected from his heritage. And I think the only way that he connects to his, let's say, his heritage or who he is when he comes back to Israel to stay there, when he goes to nature. Because only in nature there is something connected to a deeper, more naive, more childlike part of himself. So I think trying to find this child, trying to find this pure part of your identity is more important, let's say, than it takes the place of trying to connect to a certain kind of religious or national identity.
A little bit about the character development and discuss the journey of the main characters in America. How do their personal struggles and relationships reflect the broader societal issues? Like, what transformations do they undergo, and what drives these changes?
I would say that the main transformation they go through is that they're able to connect in spite of their differences. They find the place where they meet, where they connect through the pain that they share, through the pain of loss of the third guy, of Yotam, when he's injured, and so it's his absence that connects them. And their change, I think, works in a way that is opposite to what's happening to this society around. If you're talking about the society on one hand and them, I think the world we live in right now is becoming more how you say, more disconnected, more distant, more labeled, less open, less liberal, and less connected. If it's the power of social media, if it's the politic of identities, where people decide to label themselves in a certain way or are being labeled in a certain way without just being seen as just human. If it's the political situation that we have all over the world, the return of almost monarch ideas, the characters are doing exactly the opposite. They find a way to connect, to relate, and also to forgive and to show kindness and tenderness, where outside the world does not allow it, does not want it. And that, I think that for me, the way I see it, at least, because I'm not objective, it's my film, so everything I said is irrelevant. Basically, what's relevant is how people see it and perceive it, how the viewers, the audience, because this is their film, it's not mine. But what I try to do, my perspective is for them, for these characters to find connection and to find understanding in spite of the differences, in spite of the different circumstances, and also to support each other without judgment.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be supporting this film, and we're going to be having our article out soon. Can you tell our audience and our readers, our viewers, how can they find out more about the film, social media, your website? how they can find out more about you and your films. And let us know right now how we can find out more.
Yeah, so we have a screenings right now in New York, in LA, in Miami, in South Florida. We're gonna have screenings coming up in Boston, Chicago, Scottsdale. So we're starting the journey. You can find in screening times in Menemsha Films website or my website. Just Google my name. I guess you'll find it there. And my work, my film, the film, The Cakemaker, you can view it. You can watch it on Amazon, on Hulu, I think, Apple, HiFlix. I don't even know where you can watch it, but it's available everywhere. And America is right now on the big screen, and if you have the ability to get there, to come to one of the screenings, so watch it on the big screen, because it's a movie that we really made it for the big screen. We shot it and built it, and every frame in this film is made to be experienced on a big screen. And I'm here to present it. I mean, I don't know if it's when it's going to be published, but I'm having a screening Friday the 5th on 1 o'clock in Lemley Royale, and the premiere at 7 o'clock in the evening at the Lemley Royale, and cinema in the evening. And I think it's the 8th. I'm going to be back in LA, and just look out the screening time, and maybe I'll join you in the screenings in Lemley, in Encino, and in Royale in Santa Monica.
Lovely. Well, great. Well, welcome to LA. Sounds like you're going to be back and forth a lot, and I'm sure we will be meeting in person. And we're the Hollywood Times Official is our YouTube channel. The Hollywood.Times on Instagram, and HollywoodTimes.net is our website. And Ofir, thank you so much for taking the time today on a special holiday. And we will see you soon, I'm sure. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much. All right.
Thank you
See you
so
soon.
much. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.